Good morning. This is Keisha Spivey, and I am bringing you your Friday Fire. Today, I want to talk to you briefly about something that God is really impressing on my heart. And He is challenging me and He is correcting me all at the same time. And two verses that He's using right now to speak to me clearly and loudly. They're Philippians 4:6, which says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your request be made known to God." Keyword there, request me made known to God. And then the second one is one of my absolute favorites, which is Ephesians 3:20. Now to him who is able to do far more abundantly than we can ask or think, according to the power at work within us. Both of these verses go back to our asking. Both of these verses go back to truly revealing the level of our faith and what we are believing for. Because there's a difference in wishing for something and having faith to receive it. There's a difference between wishing and expecting. And so my question to you today is, what is it that you are expecting from God? What is it that you're expecting God to do? Have you kind of settled into just going through the everyday mundane routine, or just taking life as it is, what you see face value, what you've got? What are you believing for? What are you expecting God to do for you? And to make this thing breathe, what if God only gave you yesterday what you expected Him to do? What if He only gave you what you expected? And when that question came to me, I really had to do some soul searching because, I spend time with God and I pray and I got big dreams and I got big faith and I got all these things I'm desiring for Him to do. But am I taking the time like I need to, like in Philippians 4:6, and it's talking about making my request made known to God? Am I taking the time to literally sit in His presence and talk to Him about the things I am believing that will manifest in my life? And when I think about Ephesians, Him doing far abundantly more than we can ask or think, we got to stop and ask ourselves, what are we asking and thinking? If we're asking God to do more than that, are we suffering from limited thinking? Do we have God in a box? Are we putting a lid on Him based on our circumstances and our conditions, based on our education and the amount of money that we have in our accounts? Are we putting expectations on God where our relationship's concerned based on the way things have always been? See, that's us looking at things from a humanity perspective. Not a supernatural God can do anything that He aims to do expected. Not the God kind of life. I'm talking about how many times are we literally limited God because we are afraid to open our mouths and say, God, your word says this. I believe this for my life. Your word says that about my children. I believe it for my life. Or are we just allowing anxiousness and anxiety and fear and doubt to literally crumple us to the place that we lose our voice? Have you lost your voice? Are you speaking forth the promises of God? Or are you sitting in silence because you've looked at the past, or you're looking at what you presently see? My word to you today, my fire for you today is take God out the box. Let Him be God in your life. Open up your mouth and speak what He says. Open up your mouth today and declare, thus saith the Lord. Open up your mouth today and realize you don't have to be anxious and you don't have to worry, because God, the same God that hung the sun, the moon, and the stars in the sky, is concerned about everything that you're concerned about. He knows the number of hairs you have on your head. He's literally excited to make your crooked path straight. He is excited to put light in those dark places. And all He needs for you to do is activate the power by opening up your mouth. Open up your mouth and declare those things you desire for God to do. Open up your mouth and declare what you're expecting to see manifest in your life. No longer sit back. We've been singing a song all week long talking about no longer being a slave. It's one thing to say you're no longer a slave. It's another thing to stop living like one. Whom the Son has set free is free indeed. Are you living like it, acting like it, talking like it, walking like it? Turn your cup up, set your expectations high, open your mouth, and let God be God. Take Him out of the box. Have an amazing week. I will see you on next Friday. God bless.